The moon is rising into the sky over the oceans of the world of Tritoncraft Season 2. Welcome back, everybody, to a brand new episode. Hello, hi, waving hi to you. Hi, that's my face. Wow. Woo! Did not mean to get that close to my face. So, as I anticipated last week, unfortunately, the Thanksgiving holiday ended up keeping me extraordinarily busy. I love to cook, you see, and I love to spend time in my kitchen making a huge Thanksgiving meal, even though it's, only 2 people eating it. I made a 24-pound turkey, for instance. I really, really love to cook, but unfortunately, all that food prep and cooking and everything like that did take a significant amount of time away from Tritoncraft. So I just want to kind of give you up to date here on all of the progress that we have made on our beautiful Guardian/Ink farm that, of course, is right down below us. So let's leave him up here. We've got the farm running right now, just so I can kind of keep checking the rates. I want to kind of keep checking different things about the farm, but let's head down and see how everything is running. This is one significant problem that I have noticed with this farm. We do have all 4 of the modules out here, and if you were cringing at my cringe redstone last time, I fixed it, don't worry. The dispenser thing is just now right below this thing, and of course this is now in a straight line with where the water source is below to spit the items into the water stream where they're collected for our ink stuff. I mean, unfortunately, I didn't set them up very good last time, and now they are even with the water line to hopefully avoid more of the issue of the allays kind of spilling them out everywhere. But this is what they do. No matter how much I spread them out, and I mean, I didn't try to spread these ones out when I let them out. I probably should have. But essentially what they'll do is the Guardians will kill a squid, and then these things will all go absolutely nuts trying to chase after the one ink sac. And they all stay grouped up in a big freaking army like this, and I don't really know why. It's just really frustrating. I can't, they're closer to this. I was going to say, oh, now they're all going to move to... But you're closer to this? So I don't get it. I don't get, how to make them respond to one note block versus the other. Aside from straight up, quartering off this thing, building a giant wall, which I've considered doing. I'm not gonna lie, I've considered building a giant wall across here to kind of try to keep them from being able to fly over to each other's different areas, but I don't even know if that would necessarily work. At any rate, it's really, really frustrating, and I'm losing out on ink because of it, but I'll try to think of another solution for that if I at all possibly can. I mean, we've got a couple of them floating around over here. Look, he looks like he found a couple. I mean, maybe they'll spread themselves out again over time. Maybe they'll do a better job. I don't necessarily know. But it's frustrating because they just... And eventually, I've lost allays because they just kind of wander off and disappear. And, if there's no ink for them to collect, they'll eventually just kind of disappear out of the area, which is really frustrating. I don't know why. This guy, I know he's picked up ink, and I don't know why he's just floating around and not going back to one of these note blocks. They're playing sounds. I don't get it. I really don't. I've never used these things for anything before, so I really don't know how they work or exactly what they do. He's going to disappear. He's going to just fly off into the vast ocean because there's nothing but ocean for thousands of blocks in every single direction. Oh, now here he comes. He's zooming back. Oh, he's zooming after an ink sac there. It looks. Oh. Okay, now he's back. Now I don't know what he's doing. Oh, I think he's waiting for an ink sac. I think he clocked onto one there. All the other allays have made their way over to me now over here. Oh, okay, there we go. So now we got some... I mean, it is what it is. It's not going to be perfect. They're only going to be able to kind of collect up whatever they can. I've got a little allay breeding room. I want to show you all the changes, of course, that we have made to the facility, starting with our exterior here. Of course, we've got our 4 little spires here on the outside that I haven't figured out a design or anything I want to try to put on top of them. I think if I can get it to work, and I don't know if it would work because I don't think the repeater below it would activate it, but if I could even get some lights, just some little lamps going in there, some redstone lamps, I think that would be super, super cool, just kind of little rotating lights. But I haven't decided that yet. I decided to kind of build little side tower pieces here to kind of expand this thing out and make it not so flat. I kind of think we're going to turn this into a little bit of a fortress here. I initially had this all the same thing. I initially had it all prismarine, but then I decided it needed this extra design element, so I went in here and added in the polished deep slate to kind of line everything out. And, you know, we'll kind of continue working on that. That design's going to come next week. I hope to have this done by next week and show you like all the final pieces. I did do some more decorating in here. You see there's now, and I mean, it's tough to tell with the tinted glass and everything, but there is now a design on the glass with with dark prismarine, deep prismarine on all 4 of these little panes here. These ones look like little chains kind of going all the way down, which I really love. And then these 2 on the sides, they mirror each other. And then of course the front one we talked about last time, and that one just looks like that. And of course our farm is doing gangbusters in here. This farm is ridiculously productive. I mean, in terms of guardian drops, it picks up absolutely tons of it. Like, I have no complaints as far as the guardian drop aspect of it. None of my minecarts are stuck right. I had to add in some more powered rails because my minecarts, every once in a while, and it doesn't seem to matter whether I'm in the area, not in the area, I don't necessarily know what the case may be, but I thought maybe it was because they didn't have enough oomph. And we can't, of course, put powered rails where the glass is, so we have to space them out. But I went in and added double powered rails to all these sections here to kind of try to stop them from getting stuck. They did really good for a while, but then one of them was just stuck again, and I had to unstick it. Like I said, you'd think it would be because I left the area and came back, like unloaded and reloaded the chunks or whatever. Nope, I'll just be here working, and the carts will be working just fine. And every once in a while, one of them will just stop. I think maybe it's if they happen to be in the same spot at once, like going around the same corner, like maybe they somehow interrupt each other's little flow or something. I'm not necessarily sure exactly why that might be the case. But I want to just give a little tour of the decorations that we now have inside of this farm. Of course, we've got our hallway now nicely decorated with these beautiful sea lanterns. We've got our bubble vaders actually in place here, which I think are really nice, but we got to figure out a better design for where they come out up top. And of course, we got to have our main storage and everything like that here. None of that's done yet, so don't look for all that kind of stuff. And then let's take a look at some of the design elements that I've added in here, starting with these little bubble coral fans here, which I thought looked really cool. We've got waterlogged stairs on the underside there. I just wanted to bring some more splashes of color in here. This is a very earthy, green, cool color kind of place, so I wanted to bring some warmth in here. And I mean, the brown, I mean, the wood tones bring in a little bit of it, but I really think this brings in a good bit of warmth with that beautiful kind of fuchsia or magenta color there. Same thing over here on the other side. I think that looks really amazing. And I really, honestly, that was the last thing I just added. I'm just kind of trying to think of, like, number one, I want to take up the space, but number two, I also want to add in some really cool design elements into this place that I think would make it look really cool. Over here, I've got to decorate this room yet, but this is our little alley breeding sanctuary. I learned my lesson the hard way. I tried to let all of them out except for my breeders, as we'll call them, but the breeders escaped because I had them tethered like over here, and then I just cut a hole in the ceiling, and basically if they have an ink sac in their hands, I cut a hole in the ceiling, they all just go flying up through the hole to go find ink sacs like immediately. But my breeders also escaped, so now I've moved them back here to the back corner. They should not be able to reach over here when I cut a hole in the ceiling in the future to let the allays out. Of course, we got our jukebox and a chest full of goodies in here to do that kind of stuff. And over here, I don't even know. I didn't know what to do with this little area in here, so I stuck a squid head and a shelf and some candles in here. And of course, we've got our little breeze pots here with the little, I don't know what the name of the shard is, or the sherd, but I decorated those pots with that. And then we decorated out this just a little bit. I added some more of the decorated pots and whatnot in here, because you get an absolute ton of these in the trial chamber. And of course, this is where we decorated a little bit with copper and everything. We've got trial keys and some potions, some bad omen potions, whatever they are called. Ominous potions? Just had to kind of try to think of the name of them. But yeah, we've got all that in here if we ever want to go down and deal with our trial chamber. I also just added this because I remember talking to I love this. So this is armor stands with the mod that we use to grow the size of the armor stand. Just a guardian head and an elder guardian head stuck on an armor stand and then blown up to like 4 times the size. So just like, like a little museum piece, like, yep. Yep, there they are. Love that so much. In here, I actually think I mentioned this in the last episode that we didn't have an actual place to enchant. We didn't have an actual enchanting table set up. And I was like, why not? There's so much space inside of this ocean temple. Why don't I build one of these over here? Of course, we'll build one in the village still as well. But I was like, why don't I splash one of these over here in the village? Because I think it would look really, really cool if we just kind of threw one of them in here. And of course, here we go. Super simple. We've got bookshelves dotted all around. That thing can get up to max level 30. I wanted to make sure that that was definitely possible. And then we've just got a whole bunch of... Ooh, spooky, scary. We've got a whole bunch of little decorative elements in here. We've got a whole bunch of chiseled bookshelves with random books on them. Those aren't enchanted or anything. They're just there. Some mini blocks in here, a little cherry blossom tree over there. Trying again to add different levels of color. I really need to do that over here because I just kind of figured what would look cool if I just had a whole pile of lapis just strewn all over the place. But it's very, very blue. It adds a lot more blue in here. And I love blue. Don't get me wrong. Like I really do. But it adds... almost too much. So I feel like maybe we got to splash a few more things in there. Maybe I'll have a small pile of redstone blocks or something like that. I don't necessarily know. And back here we've got even more. We've got some of the deep slate lapis ore just kind of back here. Man, I hope our laser doing up okay up there in the thunderstorm. Over here, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this yet. You can see I've got kind of the auto crafter thingamabobber set up. I had to look up the recipe, so I don't have the auto crafting set up yet because number one, well, I'm going to show you in a minute like what I had to do redstone wise for this farm, the redstoney stuff that I had to do in order to make this thing function properly. But the problem that I'm having here is I can use this normal simple auto crafter to do prismarine brick and regular prismarine block, but I can't use it for sea lanterns and dark prismarine. That needs a more advanced crafting setup. And I've seen the video, like I watched Silent Whisper did a tutorial on like a bunch of these, including this one and the one I need to build that does multi-item crafting, but I need to actually build some of those so I can automatically craft the other ones. This is just a template over here, so I just don't forget what it looks like, just so I don't have to go watch the video again to refer back to it. But yeah, this is still very much work in progress in there. I thought this would be just kind of a neat little thing. I wanted to... And there you can see a little minecart going around in there. Just a little sponge drying room, like a little room where we go and hang up our sponges so they can dry out. If we duck in behind the glass here, we can see. And I hate that you can't see smoke from through the glass, which is frustrating, but there's smoke obviously coming from the campfires and everything in here. We've got a pile of dried sponges over here. We've got some sponges hanging in here over the fire to get dried out. And of course, we've got some wet sponges still waiting to take their turn over here. And then I added that minecart in here just because I wanted to add some life. I wanted to add some movement going around in there. I thought that would look really, really, really neat. And let's kind of take a look into my bedroom. I'm actually really proud of... Oh, I didn't flip the trapdoor up over there. I'm really, really proud of this bedroom here. We've got some just different decorative elements. We got Sir Graham just hanging out over here on the wall, kind of doing his thing. Looks like he's heading to find a magic mirror. We've got some, guardian heads over here on the walls, some little potted plants, some of the little decorative clay pots and everything like that. I decided to bring this lamp design from the village here because I still want there to be unifying elements. Even though this is a completely different part of the world, I wanted there to be unifying elements between the village and between here and between other things I'm going to build in the world sometime in the future, So I decided to bring this lamp design here. This is probably something you're going to see a lot more of at different places in the world as well. Over here is where we've got kind of our storage for all the things that we're building here and everything. Anything that's not farm related, anything that we're building or we've collected here or just whatever, there'll just be some random storage over here. Of course, we've got our little crafting set up with our little stone cutter over there. We've got paintings and everything like that. A little tree. This is 2 different armor stands with mangrove leaves turned at different directions, kind of shoved over here. This is actually, I really, really love this actually. So there's a torch right there. But then what I did was I added this lamp block onto an armor stand. And I grew it up just a little bit in size. But then I also took a redstone torch and put the redstone torch on an armor stand and grew that up size-wise. So the post, because the torch is way smaller than this. Torch is way, way smaller, but I really wanted there to be natural light next to my bed, but not there to be an actual obvious torch. So I thought it was fine, and I shoved it and hid it inside of that thing. I think it looks really, really cool. Of course, some other mini blockheads and all that kind of stuff over there. I'm really, really proud of my bedroom. This is probably the thing that I really, really love the most over here. Like, I don't want to say, I feel like I'm becoming a better builder. I feel like my building is getting stronger, and I feel like my attention to detail in not over detailing, and I think those are two important distinctions. Like, I don't think I'm over detailing, but I think I'm adding enough detail where at least it looks like there's a little something going on, and I really, really love that. I'm really, really, really proud of how the bedroom looks in there. If we take our trip down here into the brain of the operation, of course, this is where our Impulse SV item sorters are here. They are, of course, collecting all of our different items, and we've got, wow, is one of these actually full? One of these modules may actually be full. So we've got all of our items. Oh, yeah, that's the crystals, I think, in that one. We've got our Impulse SV item sorters here collecting the items that, of course, are delivered by minecart. I still want to do a design on the floor in here. Just haven't had a chance yet. But now, if we take this ladder down here, and we go over here, into the sub-basement of the thing. Now, this is an item splitter from Il Mango. I'll put the link to the video down in the description. But basically, so here's the problem. I need prismarine shards for all four. God, this thunderstorm. I need prismarine shards for all four of the different things that I have to build in this world. I need it for the prismarine brick, sea lanterns, and dark prismarine. I need it for everything, and I need 4 separate feeds of those items in order to do that. So basically, we've got all the items coming in off of our item sorter down here. The first 4 modules right here are all prismarine shards. Those are coming down, and those are going into these 2 chests here. Those are all funneling down into these 2 chests here. These 2 chests are splitting into these 2 item lines. Now, this one's going to get more than this one is. It's just the nature of the beast. I can't control like how many different things each different item stream catches, unfortunately. But at least by this, they'll at least distribute somewhat. Okay. So basically what happens is the items come down through the sorter here. All the shards come down into this system here, and then they split into these 2 item dividers. And basically this system here will pulse back and forth. There's an item flopping back and forth between the 2 droppers in there. And essentially it'll distribute evenly items between these 2 different lines. And then these are unfinished down here, but we have 4 different item dispenser systems that are all going to be shooting items off into water streams all down these corridors that are eventually going to be making their way into their own different auto-crafting processes for all of our different blocks we're going to be making in the farm. Is this probably overkill? Yes. Is there almost certainly a more efficient way to do this? Also, yes. I mean, if I had all my auto-crafter systems in a line, eventually, like, I play a lot of Satisfactories, so it would work just kind of on the overflow principle. Like, once one thing overflows, like, I'll have backfill to go into the next one, and the next one, and the next one. But I mean, whatever. This is probably overkill, and if it doesn't work, I can end up ripping it out of there. It's fine. It's fine, but I really, really think it looks really, really cool. In here, of course, I showed this in the last episode, but I've moved it slightly. Ooh, I gotta... Oh, no, I'm gonna wait until that turns all the way. But I showed this in the last episode. I have moved it slightly, but here is our disposal system. Again, fish and anything else that's caught by the system that is not part of the item filters, which again is just the crystals and shards, is going to get filtered down in here into our disposal system. But I built a shutoff in here, and it's just very simple. There's just a redstone line connecting into the main redstone line here. So even though this is full of fish, it's not going to activate until I come down here and activate it to spit those items into lava. And don't ask me why I built the lava pool all the way down at bedrock. I built like this whole shaft going all the way down. I don't know why I thought this was going to be cool, but I think it is. I think it's just cool to have a really, really long vertical shaft that goes all the way down to bedrock to shoot the items down. It's gonna get crispy. I don't know. I thought it was funny. I don't really care. But yeah, like I said, this is going to split those items up so we can use those for auto crafting. Our ink is coming in back here now, and I just realized this system is actually backed up. That hopper's already full of ink, which is actually kind of crazy because that's how much ink that this thing is already collecting. I never built a chest back in here, and I need to figure out a collection, like how that's actually going to get in there. So I think we actually need to go and sort that out. Dive down there so we can build a chest down there really, really quick. It actually looks like our lasers kind of split up a little bit. Yeah, we still gotta... Oh, jeez. No. See, this is the problem. They come and they find me, and they start throwing ink at me. Guys, go put this stuff in the dispenser system. Oh, I'm not wearing any of my armor. I'm like, why am I not swimming faster? Yeah, I'm not wearing any of my armor. I should probably put that back on and probably make my life a lot easier. But yeah, you guys will have to let me know what you think of the design in here. I know this video, like, this is the most no-frills video I've ever done. I know I have chest. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, give me these. And, yep, there we go. And I think we'll grab another hopper. Yep. All this redstone stuff can't stay here, though. Sadly, I'm going to need it for other builds and stuff like that. I had to go mining for redstone. I was running out of redstone supplies, like actual redstone, so I had to go get redstone supplies. I built a new basement access here, so that way we can get into these areas without having to jump down through where the minecart hoppers are coming down. Because I found that really, really annoying. Yeah, let's go. And let's just stick a chest right here for now. And let's just go like so. And yeah, this'll... Is that not filling up for a reason? Oh, no, it is. I get... Okay, never mind. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's just passing all the items through. It just that's just hopper speed, like how fast it can move those items through. Let's but actually no, it's gonna fill up storage that we wanna use for other things. Yeah, I gotta figure out how we're gonna get ink from here to, but again, I gotta figure out where the auto crafting modules are gonna go. And I have not sorted that yet. I'm still waiting. I don't have the honey on me right now, but I'm still waiting for that to turn the rest of the way to the last thing. I did strip the wood in here. I think that looks much nicer with the wood stripped in here than it did with actual whole logs. Yep. There we go. Yeah, I really, really love this splash of color. I think that looks really, really, really nice. I am really, really loving this farm. I'm really, really loving this. Oh, geez, here comes all the allays. There's literally one dude, like, over there on the left, like, hanging out over by that module to collect the ink all the way over there. All the rest of them are all bunched up all over here. I really, really wish you could make these things, like, actually tethered to a specific note block. Be like, hey, you are assigned here. You are assigned here. You are assigned here. I don't know. Maybe there's a better way to do this than I'm thinking about doing it. But you know what? If we don't collect every single little piece of ink that floats around out in this ways, I don't really care. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I'm perfectly fine with it. I think that this farm works really, really well. Just in and of itself, it's going to provide me with all of the prismarine and all that stuff that I could ever possibly want. But I mean, hey, maybe if you're somebody who does redstone or who does any of that kind of stuff, you'll be way, way better at this sort of thing than I am. I have all my sounds turned off right now, so that's why you're not hearing like any of the oh, well, that guy flew over to that one. Are these ones gonna go to the one on the left, or are they gonna go back to the right? They're just waiting for it to bob to the surface here now. Oh no, they're going after more. Oh, they're going to go back over to that. I mean, listen, literally, it doesn't matter to me where they go to collect more of the ink as long as they collect the majority of it, and as long as they just keep pitching it into those little posts. Since I lowered them to the level of the water, they've been doing a lot better with just getting them in there the first time. What they were doing is actually they would drop them, but they would hit the sides of the block, and then they'd sink down, and they'd all sit there and wait for it to bob back to the surface, then pick it up and then throw it against the side of the block again. And this definitely seems to have helped. And like I said, I'm sorry if I made anybody cringe last week with how terrible it looked, but I think that this looks much, much better. Of course, there it is getting lined up by the cobweb in there. Eventually, it'll make its way down, and it'll fall into our beautiful little water stream here. We don't lose any ink at all this way, which I think is wonderful. Yeah, oh, I love that so much. But yeah, now we're also spending way less in hoppers too, because I think the ones I had set up, I was using like 10 hoppers to come like way down here and then like way over here. Like, this is just dead space. Like, it's not going to hurt anything, but you know, it just kind of, it is what it is. They're doing their thing. It's really, really nice. This thing is spawning guardians in here still, like gangbusters. I think next week when I try to finish this farm up, I think, well, it might not be done next. I don't exactly know, because I'm thinking about, if I do make this into do I want to leave it like this, or do I want to add some other visual elements to the outside of it? Now, I can't add anything that's going to float, or I can't add anything that's not going to be connected all the way to the bottom of the ocean. It has to have this, because again, if they have a roof over their head, like if there's a block that's just got water underneath it, the chance of the Guardians to spawn underneath it is way, 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 way higher than it is just for them to spawn out here in the middle of the ocean. So I don't want to add anything floating, but I was thinking about, like, what if I went from here and I added like some wings out, like out here, and then like I could either do one of them, like I could do both of them coming out straight. I could do both of them coming out like arms, like coming out from the left and the right side and then going forward or backward. I could do one alternating on each side, so it just kind of looked like they're like piers or something like that. I don't necessarily know. And then, of course, we're going to build some verticality here, too, and get some structure up on top of the ocean monument here as well, and build the thing up. Look at way out there in the distance. There's a freaking LA. Way out here. There's a couple of them out here now. Can you guys come back, please? This is the other problem with this farm, is I can't keep them locked in here, and eventually, I do believe eventually, because they'll be tracking an ink sac and they'll get too far out, they'll wait for it, and then they'll never find their way home again. I think he did. I think these two might. I definitely have lost a few over the course of this building process, though. I bet you if I took a boat and just started like scanning through the wider ocean, I'd probably find them, but I don't necessarily know where they would have gotten off to by this point. They're sitting at the edge of a chunk somewhere that's loaded, just kind of waiting to fly off into forever, probably. I don't know. But yeah, let me know what you think of the idea of kind of adding arms out from the side of this. Like, do we think it needs it? Is it kind of adding a little bit too much? Like, I mean, I'm just thinking in terms of like making this top of this thing look like a fortress. I think it might look sort of cool if we have that kind of aesthetic going on with it, where it's like literally like a fortress, where we have like a kind of big structure up on the top of it, with the little crenellations up at the top. And, you know, if we add some little arms out that go a few blocks above sea level, kind of like the fortress itself does now here, with the crenellations along them as well. So maybe, I don't know, it's like a walkway that I can use to do something. But then it's like, if I do that, what do I put out there? What do I add to that? I don't necessarily know what the case would be there either. The Olays are doing okay. You know what? Like, I've already got like a full double chest of ink, and our hopper was backed up just in the time that I'd been recording this video. You know, I went up top and basically started recording this video, and they already had overfilled the hopper. So that's over 5 stacks of ink already. So it just kind of goes to show you how ridiculously productive this farm is. So with that, though, I'm going to say goodbye. So get back up here to where my dumb face is. Hi. Hi. So weird to be doing it's so much easier though, because I want to watch the farm run while I'm giving the tour of it and kind of see and make sure everything is working in a productive sense. But like I said, I'm sorry for the no frills episode. That I just needed something that I could turn around really, really quick editing wise. I didn't have the time, unfortunately, to put any of the replay mod footage together. Also, I lost half of my replay mod footage. If I run Minecraft for too long and then try to record something in replay mod, like the memory gets filled up and then it doesn't save any of the footage. So it's such a pain. But at any rate, I love you, beautiful faces. Thank you so much for spending some time with me here in Tritoncraft Season 2. I hope you're loving the farm. Let me know what you think of it down below. You know, let me know if you think of any other additions or improvements I could add that would make it better. Aside from, I mean, listen, the redstone's only going to get as good as my redstone ability, which is not much. Okay, so only some things could possibly improve. But other than that, let me know what you think of it. Let me know what else you think I should add to this thing, and hopefully we can wrap this thing up for the next episode. But in the meantime, I love you so much. Hope you had an absolutely amazing Thanksgiving if you're in the States and you celebrate. If not, I still hope that you're doing absolutely amazing and taking good care of yourselves. Be kind to someone today. Do something to put a little bit of kindness out and make your corner of the world a better place to live. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next Saturday.